Hey everyone, welcome into another edition of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I'm Tim McMaster, and we are joined on the Chatting Cage today by Michael Cuddyer, 15-year big leaguer, and a big weekend for Michael as he goes into the Minnesota Twins Hall of Fame this weekend in Minneapolis. Congratulations, and thanks for joining us, Michael.
My pleasure. Glad to be here. Thank you.
All right, and fans, you know how it works. Use that hashtag Chatting Cage on Twitter. You can also use the MLB Fans app, or get in line and use your webcam and ask your own questions here on the Chatting Cage. We're going to start with social media, and Carlos V wants to know, what do you miss most about playing baseball every day, Michael?
That's a question obviously I get a lot since you retired. And for me, it's the camaraderie, the going out to dinners with the teammates, going to battle with them, going over scouting reports with the guys. I think I got my fill of actually playing, but being with the guys and hanging out and that camaraderie and that chemistry, I miss that the most.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of the case for most players once they call it a career, especially if they get to play a long career like you did as well. We have a fan getting ready to join us right now. Go ahead, tell us your name, where you're from, and ask your question for Michael.
Hi, Michael. My name is Nick from New York, and my question for you is, what is your favorite memory from the Metrodome?
Nick, how you doing, buddy? Favorite memory from the Metrodome, man. There's two of them that really sticks out in my mind, and both of them were clinching divisions. 2006, we didn't win. We weren't in first place the whole season. Last day of the season, our game was over, and then the Royals beat the Tigers. While we're all sitting there, the fans stayed. We're all watching the game on the big screens in the Metrodome. And once the Royals beat the Tigers, it was the first time all year that we jumped into first place after our season was already over. So that was a big one. And then obviously game 163 of 2009 was another big moment in Metrodome history and especially in my history.
Yeah, and Twins fans hoping that some of those special moments come to Target Field soon. As we go back to social media here, and Melina4, Michael, wants to know, have you ever thought about becoming a coach or a manager?
Definitely the thought crosses your mind. But, I retired for a lot of reasons, but one of the main reasons is because I have a 9-year-old boy and I've got twin 5-year-old girls. So I think I got out of the lifestyle and the travel to spend more time with them. So to jump right back into it as a coach, especially with them still being so young, I don't think that's in the cards for me in the near future. But you never can say never. As they get older and maybe graduate from high school, we'll see where that puts us. But right now in the near future, I don't see that happening.
One thing I know you are involved in is you have your Cuddyer's Corner at USA Baseball on their education website. I think it's a weekly thing where you kind of answer questions and help parents out. Talk about what that experience has been like.
Sure. Well, it's something I've teamed up with USA Baseball, and USA Baseball doing a tremendous job of kind of changing the culture of youth baseball and starting to develop and educate parents and coaches and players alike of the right way to go about things. And not only injuries, trying to prevent injuries, but also just try to grow the game as well. And I do a bi-weekly video blog, where I pick an issue of the week, something I've been thinking about, and I talk about it for about 2.5 or 3 minutes. And hopefully it just spurs on some conversation and some ideas that parents and players and coaches may not have thought of.
And I know a lot of great things, obviously, with USA Baseball. They have Pitch Smart and all that stuff to kind of get people involved and get people thinking about baseball at that level the right way. We have another fan ready to go. Go ahead, tell us your name, where you're from, and ask your question for Michael Cuddyer.
So the name's Colt. I'm from Montana. And Michael, this is just amazing. I'm so happy to see you right here and just talk to you. It's just so great. So who's your inspiration growing up? Because I know I had my inspiration with my dad, and he played baseball.
That's a great question. That's a great question, and I mean, there's so many people helped me get to where I was. As far as on the baseball field, my favorite player was Don Mattingly growing up. My dad was a big Yankee fan, and I loved watching Don Mattingly play. I think my parents were both inspirations for me. My dad taught me the importance of work ethic. My mom taught me many, many life lessons along the way of just how to be a good person and how to treat other people. So, I think that's one thing that is good for kids, is to be able to take a little bit from everybody, take the positives from everybody. And if you do that and put that all into one person, then you're going to be a positive person and be an inspiration for a lot of people yourself.
Great stuff, and we're going to head back to social media now. And Taku4Hope wants to know, back to the retirement here, Michael. Since retiring, have you been able to work on your card tricks a lot?
No, my kids have been pestering me now to show them my card tricks, and I still haven't divulged any of the secrets. I'll have to like hold that into like a time bomb or something, and maybe when they graduate from high school, allow them to use that as they go into their own lives. But I haven't been able to work on any new ones, and I haven't divulged any of the secrets of my old ones.
Yeah, and if anybody's watching and wants more information on that, MLB.com has a few different videos of Michael Cuddyer performing some of those card tricks, so check those out. We have another fan ready to go. Go ahead, tell us your name, where you're from, and ask your question for Michael.
Hey, Michael. I'm Tim from New York. If you were playing when there was a Players Weekend type of thing going on, what name would you put on the back of your jersey?
That's a great question. I just saw some of the jerseys down there. It's pretty. I like the idea that Major League Baseball and the players are doing. I think mine would be pretty easy. For 15 years, people called me Cuddy, so that would go on the back of my jersey probably, and I'd be proud to wear it. But I think it's a really great thing that Major League Baseball is doing and the players are doing, and spark some interest and hopefully get the younger generation to keep watching baseball.
It's going to be a lot of fun, August 25th to the 27th. Check out all the Wild uniforms. They'll also be wearing them this Sunday night at the Little League World Series game. But back to the MLB Fans app we go, and Yo0 wants to know, who was the pitcher in your career that just had your number?
There was a lot of them. There wasn't just one guy that had my number, that's for sure. If we're taking it back to a long time ago, Randy Johnson, I don't think I ever got a hit off of him, probably about 8 or 10 at-bats. He was one of the guys. Never enjoyed facing Jose Contreras. Never enjoyed facing Fausto Carmona. Roberto Hernandez, I believe, is what his name is. Guys that threw 97, 98 with heavy sink and heavy run into my hands didn't tend to fare very well against.
All right, it's now time for our EDJ question of the day. And the question today, Michael, is how big of an honor is it to be elected into the Twins Hall of Fame?
Well, it's an honor that words really don't do justice. It's a feeling for me to be one of only, I think, 22 or 23 players to get inducted into the Twins Hall of Fame, an organization with rich history, tremendous players that have come through here and played here. To be recognized for what you've done off and on the field as a Hall of Famer in this organization, I wouldn't even be able to do it justice by describing it in words. It's a tremendous honor. I'm very humbled, and it's going to be a very exciting and fun weekend.
Yeah, and drafted by the Twins in the first round, and 11 of your 15 seasons played with the Twins in Minnesota. Great stuff, and it should be a lot of fun this weekend. As you said, we have another fan ready to go. Go ahead, tell us your name, where you're from, and ask your question for Michael Cuddyer.
How's it going? We're Daniel and Brett, huge Met fans from New York. We wanted to ask you, you were only in New York for one season, but it was a great season. Can you share a great memory from that year?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Obviously, it was a very special season for me. Being able to play in a World Series. In 2002, I got to play in the ALCS. It was my rookie year. Got to play in the ALCS and thought I was going to go back every year. With the Twins, we went and we played in the playoffs every year, but never was able to get through the divisional series. So 2015 was able to get there, get to the World Series, play in the World Series, and unfortunately didn't come out with the victory, but still to be there and to provide the excitement for the organization, an organization that prior to that year had struggled for a little bit, and to be able to see the passion that those Mets fans had, was a very special, and I'm happy and I'm proud that I played in New York and proud that was my last season.
Yeah, what an incredible run that was for the Mets in 2015. Back to social media we go, and HFL Missions wants to know, what was the largest obstacle that you had to overcome at some point in your career?
As a baseball player, there's many of them, many obstacles you go through, and you just kind of plug away. You don't really worry about it. You don't really think about it. You just continue to go about and try and do your job and try to have success out on the field. So, I think in order to make it to this far, in order to get through the grind, you don't think about those obstacles. So none really pop out in my head. I think just playing in the big leagues is a huge obstacle in itself, and to go out there and try and have success against guys that are trying to beat you every single night. made it pretty difficult.
Sticking to the positive. Good stuff. Staying with social, Jen Habig wants to know, who's your current favorite young player to watch right now? Obviously, some of them playing for the Twins team right now.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, the Twins, we have a great young nucleus of a lot of exciting players. There's a lot of exciting young players in the Major League Baseball. I love watching Byron Buxton go after balls out in the outfield. I love watching Miguel Sano hit bombs into the third deck. I love watching Nolan Arenado play third base, one of my former teammates in Colorado. So, baseball's in a really good place right now with the influx of young talent, guys that really are exciting to watch and play the game with flair and excitement. And I like where baseball is right now as far as the young talent's concerned.
Awesome. And we are out of time, Michael. Have a great time this weekend as you enter the Hall of Fame. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Edward Jones Chatting Cage.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
That'll do it for another edition. Make sure you tune in again next time.